I ran for 8 months because they were worse. Now they found me. 3 rules for staying alive when half the galaxy wants you dead. 1. Never stay anywhere longer than 72 hours. 2. Never trust anyone who smiles too much. 3. Always have an exit. I'd broken all 3 in the last 20 minutes. The bar was called the Hollow, a fitting name for a place that existed in the gaps between laws. Dominion territory, technically, but the kind of territory the Dominion pretended not to notice. Smugglers, deserters, people running from things they couldn't outrun. We all ended up in places like this eventually. I nursed my Furman brew and tried to remember the last time I'd slept. 3 days? 4? The numbers blurred together when you spent every waking moment checking exits and counting faces. 8 months. That's how long I'd been running. 8 months since I walked away from a job. 8 months since I watched Revenant kill Lauren while I screamed her name. 8 months since I learned that the Syndicate, the only family I'd ever known, had been feeding me to a machine that would grind up entire worlds. I took another sip. The Furman brew was decent here. Smooth, no crash, minimal rust aftertaste. Small mercies. A gravball match flickered on the holovid above the bar. Some colonial league. 2 teams I didn't recognize slamming through a zero-G dome while a commentator lost his mind over a rail shot. Nobody watching. A table near the back was deep into a game of drift. Cards tight to chests. Nobody breathing. The book sat on the bar beside my elbow. The Way of Ewan, the incomplete self. Worn leather cover. Pages soft from too many readings. Spine cracked in 3 places. The only thing I had left from parents I couldn't remember. I'd read it so many times I could recite passages from memory. Didn't mean I understood them. Didn't mean I believed them. No soul was made to carry itself. Pretty words. The kind of thing people said before the universe taught them better. I flipped to a random page, letting my eyes drift across familiar lines. The wisdom keepers of Ewan had a lot to say about paths and choices and the weight of walking alone. Easy wisdom when you weren't dodging kill squads across 6 systems. My fingers found the cord around my neck, the scorched Syndicate coin hanging against my chest. I should have thrown it away months ago. Should have melted it down or sold it or dropped it into the first black hole I passed. I kept it anyway. Couldn't explain why. Lauren's medical pin sat in my inner pocket, pressing against my heart with every breath. That one I understood. That one I'd carry until they burned me. Tell him I forgive him. Her last words. Meant for someone. Maybe me. Maybe the universe that put her in my path just long enough to get her killed. I closed the book and reached for my drink. One day, when this is over, if it's ever over, I'm going to open a place. Somewhere quiet. Cozy booths. Good brew. Desserts that don't taste like recycled protein. I'd call it... Fox walked through the door. I spotted him before the door finished closing. Hard not to. Foxy moved like he owned whatever room he entered. Smooth, unhurried. That cold professional smile already locked in place. Behind him came Matesic. Meat, I'd called him back in the day, and he'd never appreciated the nickname. 7 feet of muscle crammed into tactical armor. Face like someone had carved it from concrete and forgotten to add personality. He didn't need words. His presence said everything. Third was Emmons. Quiet, competent, the kind of operative who faded into backgrounds until suddenly she didn't. I'd worked with her twice before I went dark. She was good. Too good to be wasted on retrieval duty, which meant the Syndicate was done playing nice. Fox's eyes found me across the bar. That smile widened, warm, inviting. The kind of smile that made you forget he'd slit your throat if the contract was right.
Merc, you look terrible.
Foxy. I didn't stand. Didn't reach for my weapon. Not yet. You look like someone dressed a corpse in a nice suit. Guess we're both having a day. He laughed. Genuine. Almost delighted. That was the thing about Fox. He actually enjoyed the banter. Made him dangerous in ways meat never would be.
8 months. You've led us on quite the chase.
Wanted to see the galaxy. Broaden my horizons.
You missed your rendezvous.
Did I? I took a sip of my brew. Must have slipped my mind. Busy schedule. Places to be.
Syndicates to betray?
Meat shifted behind me. I felt the movement more than saw it. That subtle adjustment of weight that meant weapons were being reconsidered. Emmons stayed by the door, covering the only exit I'd mapped. 72 hours. I'd been here for 3 days. Sloppy. Real sloppy.
The boss is disappointed. You were one of our best. That job was supposed to be your crowning achievement.
Images flickered. Lauren's face. Populations marked for processing. Families cataloged like inventory. Funny thing about crowning achievements. Sometimes you realize the crown's made of corpses.
Poetic. Did you rehearse that?
I've had 8 months to work on my material. Fox's smile didn't waver, but something shifted behind his eyes. The warmth bled out, replaced by something clinical. Assessing.
The boss wants you back, Merc. Alive, preferably. He has questions about what you took when you left, what you shared, who you talked to.
I didn't take anything.
You sabotaged 3 data nodes on your way out. Cost us 6 weeks of operational planning.
Only 6? I shrugged. I was hoping for 8. Meat's hand landed on my shoulder. Heavy. Warning.
Here's how this works. You come with us, voluntarily. We have a nice long chat about everything you've done since you went dark. Answer the boss's questions. And maybe, they let you back into the fold.
And if I say no? Fox tilted his head, that smile stretching into something colder.
Then Matesic gets creative, and Emmons makes sure no one hears you scream.
I looked at my drink, looked at the book on the bar, looked at the exits I'd mapped 3 days ago when I was still pretending I had a plan. The Syndicate doesn't do forgiveness, Foxy. We both know that.
We do second chances, occasionally.
No, you do examples. I met his eyes. I've seen what happens to people who walk away. The Syndicate doesn't want me back. They want to take me apart, piece by piece, until there's nothing left to question. Then they'll put what's left on display, so the next operative thinks twice before developing a conscience. Fox didn't deny it. That was answer enough.
You should have stayed loyal. The family takes care of its own.
The family kills its own. I just stopped pretending there was a difference. The silence stretched between us, thick enough to taste. Fox's gaze drifted to the worn leather cover sitting beside my empty glass. His expression flickered.
Still carrying that old thing?
He reached for it before I could stop him, fingers brushing the cracked spine.
The Way of Ewan. The incomplete self.
He said the title like it was a joke.
Thought we burned the sentiment out of you years ago.
He flipped it open, scanning a random page.
The man who carries everything loses it all the same. Pretty. Useless, but pretty. Your parents' book, wasn't it?
He snapped it shut.
Funny thing for you to hold on to. A book about connection.
I didn't move. Didn't breathe.
That's what you are, Merc. What you've always been.
Fox set the book down.
The Syndicate didn't make you a weapon. We just gave you a target. You were already broken when we found you.
Broken. The word lodged somewhere deep, familiar as the scar tissue I'd built around it.
Lauren figured that out eventually, didn't she? That's why she tried to run. Not because of what we were doing, because of what you are.
Don't react. Don't give him anything.
Tell him I forgive him. Her last words. Revenant played them for the whole team. Very moving. She sounded relieved, like dying was better than staying with you.
I didn't move. The bar noise continued around us. Someone laughed at the grab ball match. A drift player threw down his cards. The universe kept going, indifferent and loud, while those words sat in my chest like a blade finding the exact right angle. My hand moved before my brain caught up. Fox caught my wrist. Casual, efficient, like swatting a fly.
There he is. There's the Merc I remember. Come with us. Stop running. The family will make the pain stop eventually. And you can stop pretending you were ever going to be anything else.
I looked at the book, at the coin around my neck, at Lauren's pin pressing against my heart. The self that stands alone stands incomplete. Maybe the wisdom keepers were right. Maybe no one was meant to carry themselves. But Fox was wrong about one thing. I wasn't going back to the Syndicate. Not to answer their questions. Not to become their example. Not to let them carve out whatever was left of the man Lauren had tried to save. My eyes drifted to the window, to the Dominion patrol passing outside. 4 soldiers in black armor, faces hidden behind tactical helmets, moving with the mechanical precision of an occupying force. The Dominion wasn't kind. Their prisons weren't comfortable, but they were orderly, bureaucratic. They processed prisoners, filed reports, maintained systems. The Syndicate was chaos wearing a family's face. Once they had you, no one ever found the pieces. Fox followed my gaze. His smile faltered, just for a moment.
Merc, don't be stupid.
I grabbed the book with one hand and pulled the Vex charge from my belt with the other. A small disc of Keth-made light-burst tech I'd taken off a dead smuggler 3 months ago and never had reason to use. Until now. I squeezed my eyes shut and triggered it. The hollow went white behind my eyelids. Shouts. Crashing. Someone hitting the floor. I ran. The side door opened into an alley that smelled like engine grease and regret. I hit the ground running, boots pounding against grated metal. This was Kestro's station, one of a dozen lawless pockets the Dominion tolerated because policing them cost more than ignoring them. Markets, cantinas, docking bays, all crammed into a maze of corridors that had been retrofitted so many times the original architecture was just a rumor. I knew this place. 3 days of mapping every corridor, every shortcut, every maintenance hatch. I'd been preparing for this moment since I arrived. Didn't mean I was ready for it.
Target is mobile. East Alley, heading toward the Market District.
Emmons said behind me, her voice carrying that flat, professional calm. She was good. They all were. But I was better. I had to be. The market opened ahead, a riot of stalls and vendors and bodies packed too tight for clean shots. I plunged in, weaving between crates of counterfeit parts and racks of salvaged tech. Someone shouted as I knocked over a display. Keep moving. Don't think. Just run. The Syndicate had trained me for this, for operating in chaos, for disappearing in crowds, for becoming invisible when visibility meant death. Ironic that I was using their own lessons against them. I ducked under a vendor's awning, cut through a gambling den, burst out the back into another corridor. The station's layout blurred. Same gray walls, same flickering lights, same recycled air that tasted like everyone else's breath. Then I saw it. Meat ahead of me, blocking the corridor I'd been running toward. I skidded to a stop, spun, found Emmons closing from behind, weapon raised but not firing. They were hurting me. I looked left. A maintenance hatch, locked but not well. I could force it in 15 seconds. I looked right. Another corridor, narrower, leading toward the docking bays. The docking bays meant ships, which meant Emmons had it covered. The maintenance hatch. Then, the station's guts. Lose them in the machinery. I bolted for the hatch, got my hands on it, started working the lock. Meat was already moving. Heavy footsteps, growing louder. 12 seconds. 10. 8. The lock clicked. I yanked the hatch open and found Fox waiting on the other side.
Did you really think we didn't track you for 3 days?
He stepped through, forcing me back.
We know every bolt hole you mapped, every exit you planned, every clever little escape route you thought you had. We're very thorough. The family always is.
They brought me to a loading bay, empty, isolated, far from the crowds who might ask inconvenient questions. Meat shoved me against a cargo container hard enough to rattle my teeth. Fox stood a few feet away, still wearing that smile. Emmons covered the entrance, weapon ready, eyes flat.
Here's what happens now. You tell us what you sabotaged, what you shared, and who you talked to since you went dark. We verify your answers. Then, we take you home.
And then?
That's up to the boss.
His smile sharpened.
But between us, I'd start saying goodbye to your fingers. He likes to begin with fingers.
I tested Meat's grip on my collar. Solid. Unbreakable without leverage. The data I sabotaged scrambled the compatibility metrics, made the population look less suitable than it really was. Fox's eyebrows lifted.
Civic-minded of you.
Didn't matter. They used it anyway. All of it. All my work, Foxy. All my fault.
Guilt. That's what broke you. Guilt over strangers you never met?
I met one. Lauren. She made the rest of them real. He studied me. I understand that the Syndicate will make an example of me. That there's no version of this where I walk away whole. And that the only question left is how many pieces I want to lose before the end. I looked past him. Through the loading bay window, I could see the corridor beyond. The same Dominion patrol, still running their prescribed route. Foxy, what happens if you go back to the boss empty-handed? His smile flickered.
Strict orders, Merc. Alive. Which tells you how much he wants to talk to you.
Not what I asked. Fox's eyes moved to the corridor window, to the patrol. He'd already seen it. Of course he had. He was giving me a choice.
Don't.
I looked at him for a long moment. Fox, who I'd run jobs with for years, who knew my tells and his habits, and exactly which wounds to press, who was, in the only way the Syndicate understood the word, something like a friend. Yeah, I know. I moved. Meat's grip was solid, but he wasn't expecting me to throw myself backward instead of forward. My weight drove us both into the cargo container. His fingers loosened just enough. I dropped, twisted, and drove my elbow into his knee. He buckled. I ran. Not for the exits, not for the docking bays. Straight for the Dominion patrol. I pulled my VS-17 Whisper and put a round into the Legionnaire. It staggered. 7 feet of matte black exoshell absorbing the shot like it was mildly inconvenient, and turned its optical array toward me. The Dominion soldiers reacted exactly like I knew they would. Weapons up, seeking targets, training overriding thought. I dropped my gun. Hey guys, does the Dominion still make their recruits eat that fermented kell root paste 3 times a day? I raised my hands. I'm trying to decide if I should insult your food or your mother's first. The lead soldier stared at me through his helmet.
What?
We'll have plenty of time to discuss the Dominion ship I heisted to get here. The lead soldier exchanged a look with his team, then stepped forward.
On your knees.
I knelt. Sorry about your Legionnaire. I was aiming for one of you. Guess my aim's as bad as most Dominion troops. The restraints clicked around my wrists. I'd worn worse. As they hauled me to my feet, I caught Fox's gaze one last time. He nodded. Then he turned and walked away, Meat and Emmons falling into step behind him. They disappeared into the station's maze without looking back. The Dominion soldiers marched me in the opposite direction, toward processing, toward custody, toward whatever came next. The cell was cold. Gray walls, hard bench, dim lighting that never quite reached the corners. A slot in the door for meals, a camera in the ceiling that never blinked. I sat with my back against the wall and listened to the silence. The book was still in my jacket. They'd taken my weapons, my comm unit, even Lauren's pin, confiscated, cataloged, filed away in some locker. But they'd missed the book, pressed flat against my ribs in an inner pocket. I pulled it out. The leather was warm from my body heat, the pages soft under my fingers. I opened it to a random passage. The soul that flees itself finds no rest. The soul that faces itself finds no peace. But the soul that offers itself discovers both, in the hands that reach back. Pretty words, the kind of thing you believed before the world taught you better. Except, I thought about Lauren, the way she'd looked at me when she realized what I was, what I'd done, and hadn't flinched. The way she'd said, "We can fix this," like she actually believed it. Tell him I forgive him. Maybe she'd meant me. Maybe she'd seen something worth forgiving. Or maybe she'd just been kind, even at the end, even when kindness cost her everything. I closed the book and pressed it against my chest. The Syndicate would move on, find new operatives, run new ops, grind up new worlds. They'd never needed me, just what I could do for them. The Dominion would process me, file their reports, keep me in this cell or move me somewhere worse. I'd become a number in a system that spanned star systems. And somewhere out there, a planet was burning because of me. My fault. All of it. No soul was made to carry itself. Maybe not. But some souls didn't deserve the hands that reached back. I stared at the ceiling. The camera stared back. 8 months of running, and this was where I'd landed. A Dominion cell on a station whose name I'd already forgotten. Alone, unarmed, carrying nothing but a book I couldn't throw away, and guilt I couldn't outrun. One day, when this is over, but I couldn't finish it. Couldn't picture what over looked like anymore. The dream of a quiet place, cozy booths, good brew, a name on the door felt impossibly far away. The kind of thing other people got to want. I tucked the book back into my jacket and closed my eyes. The cell was cold. The silence was complete. For the first time in 8 months, I wasn't running.